If you haven't already read the read aloud, The Owl and the Cricket, please go ahead and go back and do that first. We are going to use this in our comprehension lesson today. So starting, when the owl first heard the cricket, how did she feel? She was a little annoyed by it, but she was still very polite. She said, "Pardon me, friend. Could you please stop chirping, or could you chirp elsewhere?" And what does the cricket's response suggest about him? He said, "Ha, I have as much right to be here as you, and I'll chirp as much as I want." That suggests that he is rude and selfish, that he doesn't care about other people, especially or other animals, especially the owl. As the fable goes on, the conversation between the owl and the cricket suggests that the owl feels what kind of way? What does she start to feel? Our text evidence here says that she begins to grow angry at the cricket's rudeness. So she is no longer polite because he wasn't polite to her, and so she starts to get frustrated with him. By the end of this fable, what can the reader conclude about Owl? We can conclude that she's tricky and a little sneaky, right? And we know that the moral of this fable is, do not trust flatterers. We are now going to play a game of Jeopardy to review our fables. Some of these we may not have gone over. It's okay. Our categories are fables, dress-ups, vocabulary, true or false, and miscellaneous. This means it's just kind of a mix of random things about fables. If you were at home, you can write down your answers on a piece of paper or a whiteboard. Test yourself to see how you do. Let me know in the comments your score. After reading each question, I will give just a few seconds before I reveal the answer. And so if you need more time, just pause the video. We are going to start with Dress Up 200. A dress up that describes a verb. The answer is ly word. This is like something that you've learned in Miss Miranda's class. This is an adverb, usually ends in ly. I know this isn't one that we've gone over in fables, but that's okay. True or false 300. You can use more than 3 words per line in a KWO. Haven't gone over that one either. That one is false. Let's try the fables category 200. What kind of characters do you usually find in fables? This one we have gone over. The answer is animals. Miscellaneous 100. Moral of the Farmer and Son. We did not read this one, but you can take a guess. Hard work pays off. Fables 400. Fables usually teach a what? The answer is moral or lesson. Vocabulary 200. The time and place of a story. That is the setting. Let's go with dress ups 100. A dress up that describes a noun. Think about what you've learned in Miss Miranda's class. This one is quality adjective, or adjective is fine. Fables 100. Are fables usually long or short stories? They are usually short stories. Let's go with miscellaneous 300. Moral of the dog and his reflection. You may have read this one maybe in 3rd grade. Answer is, don't be greedy. Vocabulary 300. A lesson about life that a fable, I think they meant to put teaches. A fable teaches. The answer is moral. That is a moral. Let's do miscellaneous 500. Moral of the Lion and the Mouse. We've read this before when we did drama. You reap what you sow. Means you get what you put in. Let's go with vocabulary 500. The villain of the story. This is antagonist. Remember, the protagonist is the good guy. Dress ups 300. A dress up that shows action. So what is a part of speech that shows an action? The answer is a strong verb or just a verb. True or false? Morals are found at the beginning of fables. Answer is false. They're found at the end. Let's go with true or false 500. Aesop is the author of many fables. The answer is true. Miscellaneous 200. Moral of Belling the Cat. We didn't get to read this fable, but the answer is think before you speak. So notice that these morals can be applied to multiple stories, not just one specific one. Let's do Fables 300. Where do fables typically take place? If they're about animals, then they typically take place outside. Let's go with dress ups 400. A dress up that is a clause that describes a noun. It's a part of speech that's a clause. Who, which clause? I know that one was tricky. Let's go with true or false 400. Fables were written a long time ago. This one is true. Vocabulary 100. Stories that teach a moral or lesson and have animals that talk and act like humans. This would be fables. That's our focus for this week, our focus genre. Let's go with true or false 100. Fables are fictional. Well, we know if they have talking animals, things of such sort, they're fake. So that is true. Miscellaneous 400. Moral of the Tortoise and the Hare. We read this one. What is the moral? Slow and steady wins the race. Let's see. Dress ups 500. The most common adverbs used in www.batia.dressup. Yeah, that one's a difficult one. The answer is when, while, where, because, as, while, if, although. Don't worry if you didn't get that one. Extremely difficult. Let's do vocabulary 400. The main character of the story. The answer is hero or protagonist. And lastly, Fables. 500. Fables are an example of blank paragraph. Answer is narrative, for they're telling the story. All right, let me know in the comments how you guys did.